Hello, 7Es, receiving students and teachers.
Hello, Miss Sirima.
Thank you. You may sit down. All right, 7Es and receiving students. We're on our new strand, space and shape, our substrand length, our learning outcome, which I introduced to you in our previous lesson, 7.2.1, estimate and measure using metric units and lengths from maps and other sources. And we are now on lesson 52. All right, our topic for today's lesson, receiving students and 7Es, choosing units of length. All right, receiving students and 7Es, I'll give you this first problem here for you to solve. I'd like you to choose the correct measurement. All right? Choose the correct measurement to complete the sentence. All right, 7Es and receiving students. Again, I'd like you to choose the correct measurement or the appropriate measurement to complete this sentence here. Okay, receiving students. Okay, who'd like to give a try here? Group 6, can one of you maybe give what you think is correct? Or maybe you can read the sentence, please. Complete the sentence.
The baby crawled away from the mother 2 meters away.
Okay. He says 2 meters. All right. The baby crawled 2 meters away from the mother. What about you others? You agree with him or you have a different answer? Receiving students? All right. The baby crawled 2 meters away from the mother. What about, okay, if you say, right, you all say 2 meters. What about 200 centimeters? Do you think this is also correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, 200 centimeters is also correct. This group here, 1, 2, 3, 4, group 4. Group 4, you concentrating? Okay. 200 centimeters is also correct. What about 2,000 millimeters? Is this also correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, these are all correct, but the appropriate unit to use is meters. Okay, it sounds okay. When you want to put it in a sentence, it's convenient. The baby crawled 2 meters away from the mother. Okay. This is also equivalent to this. 2,000 millimeters is equivalent to 2 meters. But it's not really appropriate when you say the baby crawled 2,000 millimeters away from the mother. Okay, or the baby crawled 200 centimeters away from the mother. It's sort of like a, how will I say, very long distance. So when you put these units here, millimeters or centimeters. So the appropriate unit is meters. Okay. All right, what about the next one here? Okay, next problem or next sentence, receiving students. choose the correct measurement, receiving students, that will complete this sentence. The width of a telephone directory is about. All right, let's have from the back, Melvin, what's your friend's name? Ben. Okay, Ben, give us the answer. What do you think is correct here?
"23 centimeter."
Okay, can you read the sentence, please? Thank you. Okay, read the sentence and you give your answer. I mean, complete the sentence. Okay, Ruben, help Ben. Read the sentence.
The width of a telephone directory is about 23 centimeter.
Okay. You agree with Melvin? Yes? Okay. What about the other measurements here? 230 millimeters. Do you think 230 millimeters is correct too? Is it equivalent to 23 centimeters? Yes. Okay, good. 0.23 meters. All right. These measurements they're all equivalent to 23 centimeters. But the units are not appropriate, okay, receiving students and 7Es. So you can best use centimeters. The width of a telephone directory is about 23 centimeters, okay. The best unit to use is centimeters. If you say 230 millimeters, it's also equivalent to 23 centimeters, but not appropriate, okay, not convenient. Also with 0.23 meters, the appropriate unit is 23 centimeters, okay. All right, 7Es and receiving students, I'm just going to show you a video insert, okay, that will bring us to our activity for today's lesson. Hi students, in this video we're going to look at some of the units of length. What is the smallest unit of length? Very good, millimeters. Millimeters is the smallest unit of length. Now let's look at some of the things that can be measured in millimeters. Now, the length of a pin. The appropriate unit of length to measure the length of a pin is in millimeters. Even the width of a calculator key can also be measured in millimeters. Ten millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. Now the second unit of length to the millimeters is centimeters. What are some of the things that can be measured in centimeters? The width of a book. The width of a book can be measured in centimeters. Or the length of a strip of paper this can also be measured in centimeters. 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. Now the next unit of length, 2 centimeters, is meters. Here I have a 1 meter ruler. Let's look at some of the things that can be measured in meters. The height of a person. The height of a person can be measured in meters, or a 100-meter track is also measured in meters. (1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. Now the next unit of length, 2 meters, is kilometers. What are some of the things that can be measured in kilometers? Distances of places can be measured in kilometers. For example, traveling in a car from town to Waigani. The distance of these two towns is measured in kilometers. Okay, 70s and receiving students. So that's just a video presentation on the different types of lengths or different units of lengths. So just going through again, what is the smallest unit of length, class? Okay, millimeters. Millimeters. And this diagram here shows 1 millimeter. If you look closely at your ruler, 70s and receiving students, you look closely at your ruler, comparing your ruler to this diagram, this is 1 millimeter. That's the smallest unit of length. And examples have already been shown, all right? Examples of examples of things that can be measured in millimeters. So very small measurements, or very small units, which is millimeters. All right, 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. Okay, good. And then the next unit of length we looked at was centimeter. All right. So again, if you have a ruler, you look closely at your ruler, you will know where 1 centimeter is. Also looking at the examples of what can be measured in centimeters. Okay. So 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. All right, the next unit of length centimeters is meters. Okay, some examples of things that can be measured in meters, class. Chair. Okay, the height of something, all right. The height of a person, the height of a chair, okay. Length of the table, all right. Can be measured in meters. Okay, 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. And then we looked at the other unit of length to meters is kilometers. So we saw some examples of what can be measured in kilometers. All right, road, when you're traveling, the distance can be measured in kilometers. Okay. All right. So those are just some examples of units of length. All right, we're going to go on to our activity class, 70s and receiving students. Our exercise, which of these units measure length? Okay, you're going to choose from these units here. Which of these units measure length? Okay, that's your first exercise. That's a very simple exercise. And I'm sure you can just choose the units that can measure length. up to J, from those units, you choose the units that can measure length. Okay, the question says, which of these units? Doesn't just say which of these units. It says units. Units plural, plenty, many. Receiving students, in your workbook, maybe you can just circle those units of length, those units that can measure length. Same with you, 7 is, circle the correct units that can measure length. Okay, who's finished? Who's finished? Not yet, we're still circling. Which of these units, plural, many? Which of these units? Okay, so the question is, class, receiving students, which of these units measure length? A, meters. Does meters measure length? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. You should have circled A. B, hours? No. Yes or no? No. No. Hours is a unit that measures time. Grams? No. 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 Weight? Days? No. No. Time? What about E, centimeters? Yes. Yes. Should have circled that. E. F, kilometers? Yes. Should have circled that. G, liters? No. H, kilograms? No. I, millimeters? Yes. Yes. Millimeters, yes. And J, milliliters? Yes. No. So you should have circled receiving students, and 7 is A, E, F, and I. Okay, good. Now, class, the next exercise, receiving students, what you are going to do is, this time you are going to insert 1 of millimeters, centimeters, meters, or kilometers in each space. Or, in other words, you are going to choose the appropriate units to complete each sentence. Okay? All right, receiving students and 7Es, you have this exercise on page 4 of your workbook. Question number 2, all right? So I'd like you to complete that now. Here I have 4 questions for you, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, 7Es, do you know what to do? Yes? You're going to choose the appropriate unit of length to complete those sentences. Okay, discuss your answers, class. the highest in the world? Let's look at one more. I'll confirm this. I'll confirm those answers. Uh-oh, 6 more minutes. Okay, 70s and receiving students. We'll stop here. I will go through our answers. Okay. We'll go through our answers. All right. You were supposed to choose the correct unit. All right, correct unit of length that will best suit those sentences. All right, number 1, the diameter of the earth, all right, is about 12,500 kilometers or meters? Kilometers. Okay, good. Kilometers. Class 70s and receiving students, if you put kilometers, you are correct. Okay, the diameter of the earth. Now, the earth is a very big planet, so the diameter should be measured in kilometers. Okay, good. Now, number 2, the Pacific Ocean. This time we're talking about the ocean, all right? The Pacific Ocean has a depth, all right? An average depth of about, so it's sort of like talking about the height or something, the depth of the ocean. 4,000 meters. 4,000 meters, not kilometers, 4,000 meters. Okay? Number 2, that's number 2. 4,000 meters sounds appropriate, not kilometers, okay? Meters. Because it's talking about the depth of the ocean or the height. Not the height, but the depth, let's say. Number 3, the cheetah is the fastest mammal. Is it mammal or animal? Okay. It can achieve speeds of 100 kilometers per hour. Okay. And number 4, the width of a pen mark. The width of a pen mark is about 1 millimeter. Okay. In case some of you might have got confused and measured the width of the pen, but it's asking for the pen mark is 1 millimeters. Okay. All right, 70s and receiving students, we're going to stop here. Okay, again, when you're looking at the units of length, we start from the smallest unit of length, which is the millimeters, and then what? Millimeters, and then what unit of length is next? What's after millimeters? centimeters, after centimeters, meters, after meters, kilometers. Okay, so you must also know the conversions. 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. And you must know the best unit to use, all right? You must choose the correct unit of length when you are trying to measure something. Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson, class, 70s and receiving students. Our key phrase for today's lesson is choosing units of length. And in our next lesson, receiving students and 70s, we're going to be looking at lesson 53, converting between units of length. All right, before we finish, let's give ourselves a power clap. Quickly, sitting up straight. Receiving students, are we ready? Okay, put your hands together. Okay, firstly, rub. Rub. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, thank you. Thank you, 70s and receiving students, for participating in today's lesson.